Ricky Karbowski is a husband, father, waterfowler, and a die-hard turkey hunter who's made it his mission to ensure one thing happens in this life, that both of his sons turn out better than he did. Are you ready for a great conversation that involves fitness, relationships, raising kids, our faith, and of course, turkeys? Episode 16 of the Fit to Hunt podcast, powered by Wilderness Athletes, starts now. Ricky, welcome to the show, man. How are you tonight?
Pretty good, buddy. How are you?
I want to welcome you to the international headquarters for Fit to Hunt. I say that because we do have one person that bought a program from Canada one time, so I feel like we can call it international if we have someone that was across the border. So,
I guess
what's
you
going
can, yeah.
So, I forget. You are in Ohio?
Yes. I'm
You're
around
Ohio.
the Akron. Yes, sir. Around the
Okay.
Akron area. Yep.
And turkey season is starting for you when?
Youth season is this weekend, and then for the adults opens up next weekend.
You getting the kids out?
My youngest boy, he got his first turkey last spring, and he's addicted. So we're going out this weekend.
How old is he?
He'll be 15.
Okay. All right. So I was telling, so we went down to Texas last week, and now my friend Jim, who I went with, his boy's killed before, right? But we were talking about on the way down here, and I've got a couple clients that are getting ready to go on their very first hunt, and I said, this is my opinion. I think that you either become like feverish with this stuff or you don't like it. I don't find too many people in between on this here.
Nope. I agree with that. Yes.
So
I agree.
he caught the bug, did he? He likes it?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did. I told him it happened pretty quick. It was about 27-minute, 30-minute hunt. And I said, they're not all like that. So don't get used to that.
No, not in the least, man. It actually can spoil a kid when they get out that fast. They think it's supposed to happen like that all the time, right?
Well, the year prior, I had about 3 toms, probably 60 to 80 yards. My wife was with me, and I worked the one bird for about an hour and 22 minutes. And he finally broke. I had to get up. I remember something Eddie Salter told me, that if the bird's hung up and he won't come, get up and move backwards, move another direction, throw your call. So I stood up off of the tree. My wife was in a blind. I stood up off the tree, turned around, threw my call, walked about 10 yards, and he broke. And I got him.
Was he hand up, or was he just being stubborn?
No, just being stubborn.
Right.
Just being stubborn.
Right. We ran into one last weekend. So I think, all right, we have all of our theories. Some birds came on a rope. Other birds would gobble once and whatnot. But I think in Texas, you can hunt them all the way to the end of May. But I really think they're about done. What I mean that is they'll gobble, but they don't seem like they have a ton of interest. There was a few, though, and we had one that he was hammering pretty hard. But my goodness, you get over the rise, because we were in hill country. You get over the rise, and you see him, and there he is, and you've got a 100-foot ravine between us and the bird. Now, they can fly, we can't. So it was one of those things where I looked at the kid that I was with, and I said, what do you want to do? He said, let's go find another bird. Because there were literally, it was going to be a 4-mile hike one way or the other. So our thought was, we'll go this way, and if we find a way around that, we'll go get him. Otherwise, we'll find another bird. But it was great, man. It was a fantastic time. So that's cool. So this Saturday or next Saturday?
I will take my youngest will go out with me this Sunday. And then next Saturday, I'll go for the adult opening. So
that's awesome, man.
I'm pretty excited.
And your wife hunts with you too?
She does not hunt. She'll come with me, but she won't. She's not on. I haven't broke her yet, taking her first bird, but she comes with me. It's been a tradition.
Yeah.
Like since I took my first bird in 2020. After, back to what you were talking about, you either get addicted or you're done. So it took me 2 years of practicing diaphragm calls, practicing calling, not hearing a single bird, not hearing nothing, not even seeing anything.
Right.
And then I hit the right tone. Something got him fired up. And I took my first bird, and I've been addicted since.
Now, do you take a lot of heat from your buddies that you take your wife along with you?
Honestly, I work where I work. There's a lot of hunters.
Yeah.
I work with a lot of hunters. Most of them just do deer. There's some waterfowlers, couple turkey hunters. No, everybody thinks it's awesome. She comes with me.
See,
So,
I number one, I get to spend more time with her.
correct.
Number two,
Correct.
if she's with me, or she deer hunts on her own now, but
Okay.
that's not competing time where, hey, you're always out hunting, you're always out hunting. It's like,
Right.
come with me, right? And
Right.
then
Right.
I don't catch any of that stuff because she's right alongside with me.
Yes.
And I've actually gotten to where I like it.
I
She's
love it.
obviously
Yeah.
adult onset, right? I mean, as far as the hunting part of it goes, and she's not killed a bird, so it's going to
Mhm.
be tough on her schedule this year to try to get her out before late season. But yeah, she's going to go. I'd love to see her get on one. That'd be
Yeah,
fantastic.
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
How are your workouts going, man?
Really good, buddy. I've been 4 a.m. club. I call it the 4 a.m.
Yeah,
club.
tell me about that. Who all makes up
It's
the
just
4 a.m. club?
the original founder
Uh
is
huh.
my wife. Is my wife.
Is your wife?
Yes, she's been at it for over a year, Monday through Friday, like clockwork. For
Wow.
she's in the spare room. She's in the spare room. She does YouTube workouts. There's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
workouts on there for females.
sure.
And she's in there like clockwork Monday through Friday. I've lifted since I was 12. I'll be 38 this year. I've always been like afternoon, especially with work. Your stresses and responsibilities are different when you're 38 than when you're 12, 13 years old. So I found it to be able to decompress after the day to go throw some weight around. But now, as you get older, I think you know too, everybody who's aging knows your body changes. Your mind changes. PM workouts didn't do what it used to do for me. It really didn't. And I was watching her daily, and I joined a CrossFit. I've always just lifted heavy. I was a football player,
Hmm.
heavyweight. Then I changed up to heavyweight high reps
Hmm.
from 10 to 15 reps instead of 6 to 8 like I used to. Pretty much what I've been doing, I've been on a journey the last couple of years of trying to find what works for my body now. I'm not in the greatest of shape. I'm nowhere near what I used to be or what I want to be, but my wife was back to the original. She's the original founder of the 4 a.m. club. And I just watched her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a man. If my wife
Hmm.
can do it, I can do
Hmm.
it.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
never lifted CrossFit. There was a CrossFit gym about 2-3 miles away from me. They were running a 30-day fit special, and I was like, I want to try it. A couple guys at work did it. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Well, they were 5 o'clock. The earliest they opened was 5 o'clock. So I'm like, oh man, that's gonna be rough. Did it for a couple weeks. I'm in a big mindset of 21 days. If you can do something for 21 days, it'll become a routine. And I stayed on it and stayed on it and stayed on it. And it's hitting my body different. I love my workouts. I mean, my job's very physical. I'm not gonna say I'm not sore, especially after leg day. I can't say things are hurting. Things are always hurting, but my wife motivated me for that one.
That's
She
great.
she was a big inspiration for that one. And I'm noticing body fat trimming down, just whole difference in how I approach going to work. I figure I had a buddy tell me, listen, I walked through these doors out of our locker room, and I had a hard leg day. It looked like I was 80 years old. I needed a cane. And he looked up at me and he goes, hey, you did the hardest thing you're going to do all day long. And that's been locked in my brain.
Yeah.
Locked in my brain.
Yeah.
Instead of, I used to hit weights really hard in the PM, like to where I couldn't walk, I couldn't move, just to
Hmm.
decompress. It's totally different when you do it in the morning. It shifts your mindset. Like me turning a wrench to loosen a bolt or using an impact, whatever the case may be. It's nothing compared to what I just put myself through for an hour.
Sure. Sure.
And it changed my whole mindset.
Do you feel, I use this phrase a lot. Now, you can use the word synergy, and sometimes I will use the word ballet. I actually had a wrestling coach in high school describe, he doesn't look at wrestling as like a brute physical sport. He looked at it as a ballet because if you do everything right, everything flows and moves like it
Yes,
should, okay?
yes,
That's
yes.
that's actually how I see what we do when we train. So whether we're running and gunning for a turkey, or whether we're dragging a sled with decoys, or wading
Yes.
through, or turning a wrench, everything gets easier when you're in shape. That's just how I
Yes.
look at it. The
Yeah.
ballet of
Yeah.
the muscles working together. So how old are your kids? You said 15 and
My youngest will be 15 in June, and my oldest just turned 16 in
just
February.
turned 16. Oh boy.
Got his license. He's
Yeah.
driving.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Cool, but kind of scary at the same time. I remember both of my boys got to that point. It's like, oh boy, here
Yep.
it goes. So
Yep.
is he doing
He's
good?
very He's very responsible. He's very cautious.
Uh-huh.
Just both boys are great. I love my sons. They're
That's
just
awesome.
great kids.
That's
Great kids.
awesome. Now, your wife and you are training. Okay, so
Yes.
you're kind of setting the tone of the example here. Do they train?
They do. Since they were three-ish, four-ish, they're 15 months apart. They've been in every sport you can imagine.
Okay.
They're great. They're really good baseball players. They play football, basketball. They're always doing something. And my oldest boy came to me earlier or late last year and asked me to put a workout routine together for him. And we joke around, dad and sons. I always got to mess with him. Throw a flex up, and I tell him to put those water guns away. And I specifically told him, I said, what works for me is not going to work for you. Some might, but not all of it. Everybody's made different. God made everybody different. So if I'm working out at 4 a.m., son, 4 a.m. might not be good for you.
Okay.
Try 5 o'clock. Try, in between. My oldest is working. He got his first job at McDonald's. I'm like, try in between your shifts. I used to sneak stuff in back in the day too. I'm like, you got to find what works for you. Just because dad's doing it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. They're in high school baseball. My youngest boy he's a freshman. He made the JV team. My oldest is a sophomore. He's on JV too. They're working out with the baseball team. And my youngest is also thinking about splitting time with the football team because he wants to do football too.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
They're working, they're hunting, they're training. It's hard to get in trouble when you're keeping
That's
yourselves.
the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Yep.
And I would imagine that the majority of it is all positive. There may be
is.
some shenanigans that go on the teams and whatnot, but yeah, that's good. That's really good. I mean, you had mentioned that in a text thread when we were talking about what are we going to talk about tonight? Just the premise of like raising men in general,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
strong men, right? Men
Yes.
that can
Yes.
can make a decision, that can lead, that can
Yes.
provide. I mean,
Yes.
is that kind of how you see the trajectory of your sons right now?
As of now, yes. I have tried to lead by, everybody makes mistakes. I have tried to lead by the best example I could. Starting off by they're young boys, they're going to get a girlfriend, they're going to get married someday. Me and my wife, it'll be on October 28th this year. We've been married, we've been together 13 years, married for 8. So that's the example I wanted to start. Like, no matter what the situation is, if you have a partner, if you're married especially, you guys got to work together as a team. I don't control, she doesn't control me. We bring things to the table, hash it out. She has her things she does, I have my things I do. We try to, and then we meet in the middle and try to find happiness. Second of all, I've tried to lead by stand your ground. If you believe something's wrong, it's wrong. Follow the Bible. The man upstairs. Stand your ground. Don't be afraid to stand your ground. There's ways to do it properly, and there's ways to not do it. So I make sure I reiterate that. And just do. If you want to go lift, your mind is the most powerful tool in your body. Your mind will play tricks on you. It will talk you out of things. Fight your mind. Fight it. I've been through a lot of things. Some we're not going to talk about on here. Some my sons will probably never know.
Sure.
But the only way I found to get out of those, well, especially with help from my wife, was to just do. Just do. Just do it. Yeah, is it be hard? Yeah, it is. Most of the time, life's not easy at all. Just do it.
I think there's two things right there. When you say just do it, I know adults that are afraid to take action because the action's not perfect. Starting a podcast with junky equipment like I have right here and not the greatest lighting, I could have dragged my feet forever on this, but it's not going to have conversations if you don't. So there's one. And I think the other aspect to it is aside from just doing the
Mhm.
activity is not being afraid to put
Yeah.
yourself out there. And you make a mistake, Lord knows, much like you sis said, I'm not going to talk about some of the things I've done, but we all make them, right? We
We all
make
do
them.
it. Yes. Yes.
I what's the proper grammar here? I rode both boys and still do hard because I see the
Yes.
potential in them
Yes.
and I have
Yes.
high expectations
Yes.
for them and I
Yes.
want them to be better than me. And so
Correct.
at the end of the day, doesn't mean I'm not compassionate. It just means that I have expectations.
Yes.
So if they're
Yes.
messing up, I tell them. If they're
Yes.
doing good,
Yes.
I tell them, right? So that's awesome, man. Very cool.
My oldest boy and me, just like with any dad and his sons, there's testosterone,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
is, yeah, yeah. We had a little, I'm going to call it a little spat not too long ago, probably 4 to 6 months ago.
Hmm.
And he was telling me about, Dad, you want us to do this, this, and this way. You want us to always follow in line here. And I said, son, listen to me. I'm piggybacking off of what you just said. I'm your father, for one. Two, my main objective here, I made him sit back and think, like, everything I'm telling you to do, how does it benefit me? Who's it benefiting? Is it benefiting dad at all? It is, because if you do it, I'm going to watch you grow. I'm going to watch you just reach past my expectations. Who's it helping? And he sat back, kind of looked at me, like chilled out a little bit. And then he goes, okay, dad. And I said, my number one goal is for you two to be way far past me than I ever was. So it's up to you. The ball is in your court. You either do it or you don't do it. But I'm always here to pick it up. But I'm always going to tell you, I told you. I told you. I'm always going to tell you.
My dad told me one time, he said, there isn't anything that you can do that I haven't done. And I was like, okay. And I didn't really understand
Mm.
that. And I've told my boys the exact same thing. And I've watched them. The hardest part that I've had, honestly, is when I see them getting ready to do something and I want to go in and at times I want to stop it, save them.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yes.
And then I
Yes.
start to think to
Yes.
myself, but if I don't let them do this, then
Yes.
they're gonna keep doing it. So
Yes.
I know what's getting ready to
Mm-hmm.
happen here,
Yep.
and they're not gonna like it, but so that's how you learn.
I am at, especially when they were younger, swooping in. Dad swooping in,
Hmm.
stopping it. But now it's it's a tough thing. I wouldn't say cutting the ties, but letting the birdie start flying, start
Sure,
learning to fly.
sure.
Cause it's like, man, especially if you did it before, like if I did it before and I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I know how this is going to turn out. I really want to stop them. But you're correct. They got to learn. They have to learn.
That's awesome. So you said youth this weekend, you're out. So how long does your turkey season run?
It usually goes to mid-May, mid to the
Mid May,
last week of May. Yep.
and you
Yep.
get two birds up there.
One bird.
One
One
bird.
bird.
Okay.
Yep. One bird.
So they still have two in Missouri. You can kill four in Texas. There's Rios
Really.
running really.
I've always wanted to go to Texas. Always.
Texas
Never
is
been there.
pretty awesome. But we always get really fired up on the first one. Second one, I usually am trying to get the boys on one or
Yeah.
if we
Yeah.
got another kid
Correct.
or something
Yep.
like that that wants to
Yep.
go out. That's where I really like taking people and
Yes.
getting out there. But
Yes.
yeah. Well, cool. Well, listen, man, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on here because, like when we text and we message and all this, you're doing a great job with the boys. And I really feel like we
Thank
need
you.
more guys
Thank you.
like you out there
Yes.
doing it. And so hopefully people are going to hear what we're talking about on this episode and they're going to be like, I do that. But we just
Yes.
validated what they're doing. And if they're
Yes.
not doing it, I'm going to encourage those dads and moms, right?
Yes. And moms.
And
Yes.
moms and
Yes.
moms, exercise, lead by example, like you said, follow that Bible. You can't really go wrong. You just can't go wrong with it, right? I mean, the
Right.
script is right there
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, listen, always a pleasure to catch up
Thank
with
you,
you,
buddy.
and
Yes, sir.
good luck this year.
You too. Thank you very much for having me.
I really enjoy having conversations with guys like Ricky because if you subscribe to the premise that you are the sum of the people that you surround yourself with, um, that's a pretty good guy to surround yourself with. I love the fact that he is all in for his kids, but not to the point that he's going to do stuff for them. He's leading them, and that's the best thing. We all have our flaws. We all make mistakes. Lord knows I've made a bunch, but at the end of the day, he's doing the best he can to lead those young men into adulthood, and I absolutely love it. It's one of the coolest things about this business with Fit to Hunt and this show is getting to talk to some really cool people like Ricky here. Well, here we are, and by the time this episode drops, the opening day of Missouri turkey season has already happened. We just got back, excuse me, from Texas last Sunday evening. It was a fantastic trip. I'm probably going to do a solo episode about that in the very near future. But I'm going to tell you right now that without a very specific product um, on those 4,000 acres in that Texas hill country, it would have been rough. And you know where I'm going here. That's going to be our Wilderness Athlete Hydrate and Recover. What I love about this is that you can go out and get electrolyte drinks. That's fine. There's a ton of those things out there. But what the Hydrate and Recover product does is that it helps to repair muscle. So it's low glycemic. That means it's not going to spike your blood sugar with a big crash. Has electrolytes in it, but it's also got vitamin C. It also has branched chain amino acids, magnesium, zinc, thiamine, all of the important things, potassium, all important nutrients, ingredients, however you want to slice that, that are going to not only help you perform in the moment, but help you recover so that you can get out there and chase those turkeys or whatever season you're into right now. All right. Cannot encourage you enough to check out their product line. We always have at least 2 or 3 of the travel packs in our turkey vest, in our tackle boxes, in our deer backpacks. We've got them. I think you should get some too, and I think you'll like it. Well, friends, that's going to do it for this episode. Again, we really appreciate the fact that you're spending your drive into work or hanging out in the house, maybe doing some laundry, whatever. You're taking the time to listen to this. We do this for you. We do this so that you get an opportunity to get to know us, to get to hear our philosophies, to get to have conversations with these like-minded individuals, and hopefully you get some value from that. So again, from all of us here at Fit to Hunt, we appreciate you. Thanks for listening. Have a great evening. You all stay fit to hunt.